Hello, hello.
What's a podcast? I like your show.
How did I get here? Welcome to the Shipe Sports Show.
Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to the episode of the Shipe Sports Talk Show, episode 99. The road to 100 continues. We're one episode away. Joined always by my co-host and producer, Paul. Paul, how are you doing today?
What's up? What's up? Doing good.
What's up? Joined always via Skype tonight will be Chris. Chris, how are you doing?
Doing all right. How's everyone else doing?
Doing good. The Caps are winning right now, so everything's going good.
Yep.
Rocking the red. And joining us all the way from sunny state, Florida, Sunshine State, Florida, is Anthony. Hey, Anthony, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing tonight?
Sunny side
Doing
up.
all right.
Florida.
Yeah, sunny side up.
Yeah, the sunny side, yeah. Like, there you go.
So, today is ours, as we always, every year we do a special NFL mock draft. Before we get to it, real quick, what's going to happen is we're going to do all 32 picks in the first round, and then we're going to give you our top 10. How we do the first 32 is what we did last year. Is I randomly generated numbers. We all have teams. I gave the guys a list, so hopefully they've been looking over, seeing who they're going to pick. Anthony will, of course, pick for the Giants. Chris will pick for the Skins, and I will pick for the Titans. So, without further ado, let me see if I can do my best Goodell. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2018 Shipe Sports Talk Mock Draft. This year, dreams will be realized as names will be called, and the players will walk across the stage and take their place in the NFL. So, without further ado, the 2018 NFL Shipe Sports Talk Mock Draft is officially open. On the clock right now is the Cleveland Browns, and picking for the Browns is Chris.
Alrighty then. I actually say that they trade this pick away to the Ravens and re-sign RG3. I think that would be...
Cut him off. Cut the damn mic off. Cut the mic off. Cut the mic.
Yes, he did, ladies and gentlemen. That is
Oh,
awesome.
man. All right, so for the Cleveland Browns, what do they need? They really need everything. They did sign Tyrod Taylor. I don't think he's really going to be their new franchise quarterback.
Did you say re-sign or signed?
No, they signed.
Okay.
If I said re-sign, then I meant
traded
signed.
for him.
Yeah.
But they did trade for him. I think the word that I'm reading everywhere is that he's their bridge quarterback. He's the guy who's going to get them the year or two that they need to develop their next franchise quarterback. So, with that being said, I think the Cleveland Browns are picking Saquon Barkley from Penn State.
What?
I think he is the best player available right now. There's four other good quarterbacks that they could take in the next pick, 3 picks from now.
All right.
So I'm saying Saquon Barkley.
There it is. The best player in the draft is off the board now. And now on the clock for the New York Giants will be Anthony.
Thank you, Commissioner Shipe. With the second pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the New York Giants will select. This one's tough for me. I'm gonna break character here for a second, but I thought for sure Chris would go quarterback there, and I think that the Giants' obsession is definitely to go Barkley, and I think that's what the Browns, as a sports fan and just as a football, like the Browns have to go Barkley there if they really want Barkley, because I don't think the Giants are passing.
He's not coming. Yeah, he's not coming around at the 4th pick.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be there because the Giants won't let him go at 2.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Matt. We had this conversation. We talked about it. This is where I think it gets really tough for the Giants, because I know they like Darno a lot from USC. That's their number 1 quarterback prospect, and I know they love Bradley Chubb and would trade and Jason Pierre-Paul. I think that's a tough choice. I just think at this second pick, and this is gonna benefit the Browns. I think the Giants, if Barkley's not there, are gonna go with Bradley Chubb, defensive end out of NC State.
Wow. They're not going quarterback.
I don't think so. The more and more I listen to what I'm hearing from these guys, I think they really like Chubb, and they were saying that Getman, like when they asked him today, he said that if you think that we have to take a quarterback at 2, I think the word he used was hogwash. That Eli still has a lot left, which I mean that's still to be seen, but they're saying that they don't think he thinks that this is the time that he has to make a pivotal move and take a quarterback. So I think the pick should be Sam Darnold if Barkley's not there. That's who I would take, but I think that they're going to end up going with Chubb.
Wow. Well, now on the clock will be the New York Jets, and I'm picking for the Jets. And right now, if I'm the Jets GM, I'm just sitting there like, this kid just fell into my lap. And I was really expecting for Darnold to be gone. I actually had another QB taken, but with Sam, God. See, here's the thing with me right now. What I've been looking at, I think Mayfield is the best QB in this draft. That's my personal opinion, him and Allen. But I think the Jets are going to go with the safe pick, and right now the New York Jets are going to select quarterback Sam Darnold from USC.
So your 2 quarterbacks, 1 and 2, are Allen and Mayfield, but you would still take Darnold.
As
in this
coming
position.
from the Jets position, that's who I believe they would take, and that's who I'm going to take.
So if you were in your position, who would you have taken? Not in the Jets' position.
Probably Josh Allen.
Okay.
All right. Now on the clock once again is the Cleveland Browns, and selecting for the Browns this time is Anthony.
All right. With the 4th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns will select Josh Allen, quarterback out of Wyoming. So this is the best of both worlds for the Browns. This automatically, I think, puts them on another level in this draft just on those 2 picks because they get the rare, unbelievable talent that is Saquon Barkley. That's a generational talent that's going to be talked about for a while, and they still get the quarterback that they wanted and Josh Allen for. So I think a lot still to be seen, though, over these next couple of days because I think the trades are going to happen. And there's even talks now that the Browns are saying they might make moves out of the pick. So if they do go Barkley 1, for instance, and then the Giants do go quarterback, which I think they should, and take Darnold if Barkley's not there, and then Mayfield goes or whoever, they might think, or Allen, maybe they think about moving out of the 4 spot, or if they go vice versa and go quarterback and then quarterback runs 1, 2, and 3, maybe they think about trading that 4th pick as well if Barkley's not there at 4. So, I mean, there's a lot that's going to be seen, but with the way this mock draft's going, the way that we're picking, I would say they go with Josh Allen here and they get the quarterback that they want.
All right. Number 5 right now is the Denver Broncos. They're on the clock. And Chris, you're going for the Broncos.
Broncos. It was a pretty disappointing season this year. 5-11 they finished.
I mean, what do you expect with the quarterbacks they had?
Well, that's kind of where I was going. They thrive on the defense, I think, but the quarterback play was just so god awful this past season, and the defense just couldn't keep up. I mean, what can you do? So I think that the Denver Broncos, they go quarterback, and I think they go Josh Rosen from UCLA.
Way too early.
No, I don't think so.
Hey, everyone's got their own opinion on it.
I know.
Why do you think he's too early?
I don't like his attitude. I understand. You don't want to play for the Browns. A lot of people don't, but I just don't like the attitude coming into the draft. And I think his character is an issue for me, and that's why he's number 5 on my quarterbacks right now. He's 5. He's 5 for me. I got 4 other people ahead of him.
Yeah, but is he?
I don't think so. I think
know, but this
good
Is he
fit.
good? Is he a good quarterback?
Yeah.
He's good, but his attitude comes with it. That's why, in my opinion, he's 5 on my board. But like I said, we're all different. This is who Chris is picking for the Broncos. Yeah. He's just.
I'm sure you guys. Yeah, I'm sure you didn't agree with my pick at 2. I mean, that's the way it is, my friend. There's going to be differences, and that's why we're going to have our top 10.
I don't mind your pick at 2 because they did just trade away JPP, so they need the pass rush back. And we know the Giants throughout the years. That's been their go-to thing has been their defense. So.
I think there's gonna be. Remember too, think about last year. No one had receivers really going that early, and you saw how many went. So, was that last year or 2 years?
That was last year because
right?
the Titans started
Yeah.
it with Corey Davis, and then boom,
and
boom,
then
boom.
Mike Williams and
John Ross.
John Ross went 9 to the. So as I'm saying, we could see, like Chris said, for all we know, we could see 3-4 quarterbacks going to top 5. Someone could surprise us and be like, "No, I need to get in on this now because these are some serious people that we should be in there with a great passing ability." So. It's
I
going to be an
could
interesting
definitely I could definitely see the Browns and the Broncos trading away this 4th and 5th pick for someone who really absolutely wants that. These 2 or 3 remaining quarterbacks, they're probably going to go in the top 5, 6 picks.
Yeah, and a lot of it's going to have to do with how the Giants choose, because if like Chris said, they take Barkley at 1, and then the Giants decide to go with Chubb, there's going to be people on the phone looking to get 3, 4, or 5.
100%.
3 is the only one the Jets are going to stay, but the
Jets
Broncos
are
have
gonna
already
stay.
said they're willing to move.
Yes.
So, I mean, 4 and 5 are going to become a very coveted spot if the Browns aren't convinced either. Maybe the Jets take the quarterback they were sold on. So I think there's going to be a lot of movement in this top 5 based on how I really think that it's going to be based off these. I know it's obviously it goes in order, but if the Giants go with Chubb, I think that changes this whole entire draft outlook for a lot of teams.
100%.
So, with the NFL draft, you know how like in fantasy, there's like a particular style of drafting. Like, you're not going to choose quarterbacks in the first couple rounds.
Oh no, this is nothing like this is all off the table.
Yeah, it's nothing like that.
Some
completely
teams will
different.
go best available, like what you do sometimes in fantasy. You take the best player available. Some teams are just will do that, but this is mostly by what you need right now.
Right. Okay.
Like for my next pick, it's going to be what they need.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because the
Who's on the
fantasy
clock?
teams,
I'm on the
you're
clock
starting
for
with
the Colts.
absolutely nothing.
Right.
So,
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
And
these are definitely teams that are building off years and years of picks. So
and the pick is in for me.
Sure. All right, who you got?
With the 6th pick in the 2018 Shife Sports Talking About draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Tremaine Edmonds, inside linebacker from Virginia Tech.
Good pick.
I feel like they need an inside presence, especially with them switching to a 4-3 attack defense, and this is probably the best inside linebacker in the draft. So now on the clock for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is Anthony.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Oop.
So this is a pick. I've gone back and forth here myself on 2 players, and I'm just going to go ahead and stick with what I originally had in my original mock draft, and that is with the 7th pick. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting safety Derwin James from Florida State. I think they go with the Florida State product here. I know Minkah Fitzpatrick's obviously still available here at this point with all of our picks, but I think that they have liked Derwin James, and I've seen him linked to them a lot, and I think that's the pick that they stay with. He's a little bit bigger than Fitzpatrick, and I think that's what they're going to go with there. But I definitely think him or Fitzpatrick would be a great fit there for Tampa in the safety spot to fill in for them.
All right. And unfortunately, Chris is going to have to wait a little bit because I'm on the clock at 8 with the Bears.
yeah.
And I'm going to go with...
I was
You
like,
wanna
wait
make
a
a-
minute, I'm not picking for a
Why don't
while.
we make a trade?
No, and then towards the end, it's like I'm like every other pick. So
Yeah, that's what happened. There was one part he fixed it because at one point I didn't have a pick from like 16 to 23 or something like that. So
Oh,
he
really?
gave me he had to maneuver it. So
yeah. all
So
good.
for the Bears,
We'll make it work.
I'm going to go defensive side as well, and I'm going to go also in the defensive backfield, and I'm going to go Denzel Ward, cornerback from Ohio State. I feel like in that North Division, you definitely need DBs, especially if we're going against Rodgers, now Cousins, Stafford. You need a shutdown corner, and I feel like this guy can come in and play that. We've seen Ohio State cornerbacks in the past couple of years have just come into this league and are lighting it up right now. So I'm going to go Denzel Ward from Ohio State. And now up on the clock at 9 for the 49ers is Anthony.
all right. So this right here, I think is a no-brainer to me. I know it's not necessarily one of their. I know it's a priority of the 49ers, but maybe not their top one. But with the 9th pick, I have the San Francisco 49ers selecting Quentin Nelson, arguably talked about as one of the top players overall in this draft class as a prospect. And for him to be there at 9, I think is too good a value for the 49ers to pass up. I know you have Minkah Fitzpatrick there. Denzel Ward was someone I looked at here for them, but since you took him at 8, I think that kind of changed it for me. So I think that you can't pass Quentin Nelson here at 9 with that kind of value.
And the biggest move they made last year, obviously, was Jimmy Garoppolo. He's
Yeah.
just completely changed this team around, and why not get a piece that just
Exactly.
kind of protects him
Protect
even
him.
more?
Absolutely.
All right, Chris, you are on the clock for the Oakland Raiders.
He's back.
Oakland Raiders. Well, one of the biggest moves they made was at wide receiver, so I think they're good there. But a lot of I think what they need help with is in the safety, like safeties and corners. Their secondary is definitely shaky. So I'm gonna go with Minka Fitzpatrick from Alabama. I think he's right around this 10 spot. I think he's I don't know if I steal, but it's kind of right around where he would fit in. He's one of the top safeties in the draft class this year.
I agree. I think that the quarterback, like we talked, that quarterback run that might happen in those picks is going to allow a lot of value picks
Right.
to come in those mid to late in the 10 picks, because these guys are going to slip that should be in the top 5, but due to needs, it's going to change it.
All right, I'm on the clock for the Miami Dolphins, and here comes one of my top quarterbacks of the draft. They're going to go with Baker Mayfield, quarterback from Oklahoma.
Wow.
Ryan Tannehill era is over. Wasn't that good of an era. Jay Cutler's definitely not the answer. So I think
You
it's
sure?
time. Are we really having this question right now? We really having this debate? So Tannehill is done. I think they need to replace him for him, and I think this is it right here. Mayfield, he's projected to maybe go in the top 5. I think with him sitting there, the Dolphins, you got to jump on it. So definitely Baker Mayfield going to the Dolphins, and now on the clock
I
at
mean,
12.
you look at the late part of the top 10 people,
Mhm.
the top 10 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't need quarterbacks. Andrew Luck, Mitch Trubisky, Jimmy Garoppolo.
If you don't get picked
uh,
within the top 5, you're dropping.
Exactly.
It's going to be a landslide.
Yeah.
It's going to
in
be
terms
an
of
Aaron
quarterback,
Rodgers, one of those type deals. So, Anthony, now you're on the clock for the Buffalo Bills.
You say, and this is obviously where the Bills would love to get a quarterback here at 12, but based on not only this mock draft that we're doing, but the one that I even kind of wrote out, I don't see any quarterback slipping to them at 12.
If I don't take Baker Mayfield, do you take him here?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I
Okay.
think like I said, they need a quarterback. So if they feel that that's their guy, I feel like that's the play here. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But now I kind of look back at my board here.
I think they're
And I
probably
don't
one of
really-
the teams that might actually just jump up, with
Yeah,
Denver.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think they're going to, because when I look now at like the best available prospects, not to say that they're not great prospects, but the prospects that are supposed to go in these picks, it's not necessarily a need of what they're looking for, because they need offensive line. They need a quarterback, obviously, since they traded Tyrod Taylor. That's definitely their most pressing need.
Mhm.
And a linebacker, too, would be great here. And that's why I think I am going to go linebacker here. I don't think it would be their ideal pick, but I think that they would go with Roquan Smith, the linebacker
Yeah.
out of Georgia here at 12, if they are there after not making a move.
All right. So now we're on to the second of our team picks, which is Chris. And the Washington Redskins are on the clock. Chris, you're going to have a lot of people watching you for this pick. What do you got?
Washington Redskins, again, another disappointing, subpar, under 500 season, 7-9. I think the Redskins can go a lot of different ways. In terms of the offense, we need a lot of help at running back. I don't think we have our running back on the team. I think we could always upgrade at offensive line, especially in the guard position. But I think where we need to focus a lot of our time and effort is on the defense. We need some help on the interior. So I'm going to go with Vita Vea from Washington, defensive tackle. I think he can definitely be one of those run stuffers right in the middle. I think he could plug and
Big
play
boy.
right there.
That's a big boy you're talking
Yeah.
about right there. Talking 6'4", 350 pounds. I like that pick a lot, actually.
All right. Up now for the Green Bay Packers is Anthony.
At number 14, right?
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
So I want to make sure we're on the numbers here, so I know where I'm at with my list I have here.
Yeah, I've got like 3 different lists.
Yeah.
Well,
So I'm like trying to go
the
back and
picks,
forth looking. Yep. I have the
top
picks. I have like the
players.
team needs, the players. Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm like, let me make sure where I'm at here. With this pick right here, the 14th pick, I go with a need that they will that will be helpful for them here, and I'm gonna go with the offensive tackle out of Notre Dame, Mike McGlinchey. with the 14th pick here. A player I also like here for them, with obviously with them losing Jordy Nelson, I don't think that the receivers in this class are getting a lot of credit. I like Calvin Ridley here.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that pick here as well. So I would like to see what they do there, but I definitely think McGlinchey would be an awesome lineman to add to that line to protect Rodgers. So.
All right, I'm up at
I mean,
15.
he is the team, so gotta protect him.
For sure.
I'm up at 15 for the Cardinals, and I tell you what, I'm thinking of the last quarterback for the day, but I just don't think this is the spot he goes. So I'm actually, Anthony, you just touched on him. I'm gonna go with Calvin Ridley. Fitzgerald's getting up there in age and in his career. They need more weapons. You got Sam Bradford coming in. I heard he got hurt while walking to signing his contract, but that's a different story.
Just a hater. That's all.
I'm gonna go with Calvin Ridley as the new weapon in Arizona to take over for Larry Fitzgerald.
Can you imagine having Larry Fitzgerald as your mentor?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have trivia for you. Wait,
All right.
first I had a good question. Who was the first the number one pick last year for NFL? Do you remember?
Who's the number one pick last year? Myles Garrett, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Miles.
What college did he come from?
Texas A&M.
Okay. So in 2016, I have the stats for who the schools that had the most number one picks in NFL.
History?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Can you guess?
Miami.
You said in 2016 or overall?
No. So overall, yeah. I wanted to know 2000.
yeah.
I wanted to know last year to see if anybody was affected by the numbers that I have here.
No. I want to say that it was Miami, yeah.
Miami?
I don't
Chris?
know. I couldn't even tell you.
Who?
Ohio State?
I was gonna say Ohio State, maybe.
So it's Notre Dame
Oh,
with
Wow.
5,
Wow.
and USC also with 5.
that makes sense.
You're talking about with the most first overall
Overall
pick?
picks?
Number one
Yeah,
pick.
uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Really?
Yep.
Do you have a list of who they are actually by any chance?
Yeah, I do. So, but it goes back, right? So for Notre Dame, it's a quarterback. 1944, it's Angelo Bertelli,
Good
Wow.
Lord.
and to the team was the Boston Yanks.
Wow.
The
Boston
Boston
Yanks.
Yanks, and now the Boston Red
Boston
Sox, New
Yanks.
York Yankees are rivals. Go figure.
1946 was Frank Danswicks,
Caliendo?
quarterback. Also to Notre Dame.
Okay.
Also goes to Boston Yanks. 1950 was Leon Hart.
2-0. Sorry.
Notre Dame, Detroit Lions. 1957 was Paul Hornung. Halfback went to the Green Bay Packers, also Notre Dame. And 1972 was Walt Patlutsky to the Buffalo Bills.
That was their last time that they've had the first overall pick.
I think so, yeah.
And you said USC was second with 4, right?
USC actually is tied with
they were
5.
tied.
So yeah, so they
So
had
they have a chance actually to beat, because they have Sam Darnold, who's projected by some people to go
Yeah.
first
Carson
overall,
Palmer
so
was
we could
number one,
possibly-
wasn't he?
Carson
we could
Palmer was the
possibly see.
latest one, 2003. That
Yeah.
from USC went to Cincinnati.
So
They
that's
also
great.
had-
We could possibly see a team take over that number one spot. If
Yep.
USC does
USC.
get Darnold to go first to the Browns, that would put them at 6 and give them the number one
'Cause
with
there's
most ever.
There's definitely
So
a lot of
Yep.
talk that he might be going number one.
We
too.
all thought they'd be number one if Reggie Bush had gone 1.
And Auburn and Georgia all have and Stanford all have 4.
Huh.
So
Because you're talking about dating back to the early
Yeah,
right.
mid.
That's pretty
mid
good
to
trivia
mid
right there.
1900s. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's very interesting. I would never have guessed Notre Dame.
Yep.
But again, I wouldn't even have thought to look back to that point.
that far.
right.
Yep.
So that's very, very cool.
Mhm.
So as we get to the draft, Anthony is the pick in for the Ravens.
We kind of got a little sideways there. My pick was Calvin Ridley at 16.
Oh,
I know they're talking about Des Bryant being a favorite to land there because they definitely need a receiver there.
Well, definitely they're set at quarterback though.
Oh,
Percent.
no. And that's why I'm going with the surprise pick of the first round right here. And I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens to select Lamar Jackson, quarterback out of
Ooh.
Louisville at 16.
Wow. That's really high.
I think they're going to see the run is going to start at the way you guys have it. And I think they're going to be, let's get
You
in
might
on
get
it.
scared, yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Lamar
make a
Lamar
move on it.
Jackson will be a better quarterback than Josh Rosen.
Okay. We'll see about that.
This is all based on our opinion for anyone watching. Obviously, this might not. Lamar Jackson might. I don't personally think that he's as good as the guys you're naming. I think he is a good talent. I think he could get a first-round pick, but I don't think he's the player that's going to transform a franchise.
All right,
At least
Chris,
from what I've seen.
Chris, you're up for the
I mean,
Chargers.
he is the youngest Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, but last year he had kind of a down year, I think, after that. So
Yeah, well, that's very true.
we'll see.
16.
I wish him nothing but the best. I got to, I watched him. I think he's definitely capable, and I think he's going to be something special. But will he be able to change a franchise is the question I think a lot of teams are asking. So, and I think Baltimore is kind of in a position to maybe grab a player like Lamar Jackson. He's got the great talent, especially in that middle of the first round. So,
I mean, he's definitely a playmaker. I mean, he is a playmaker. I mean, he makes things happen, whether it's through the air or through the ground. But you know, we've seen running quarterbacks and their success in the NFL really is just doesn't seem to translate, at least long term. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So number 17, I have the LA Chargers, the new LA Chargers. I mean, they have a lot of needs, I would say, on the line. I mean, Phillip Rivers is getting close to the end of his career, but I still think he's got a lot of game left in him. There's really not that many, I'd say, quarterbacks left, but that's not who I'm going to be going with this for this pick. I'm actually going to go with a defensive line player. I'm going to go with. Oh wait, is that him? Yep. Is it Deron Payne from Alabama?
Okay, I like that. The defensive tackle you're talking about,
Yep,
right?
defensive tackle, Alabama. I wasn't sure whether to go like edge rusher or inside guy, but I think they're set on edge rusher with Bosa, so I think they're going to go with defensive tackle inside.
Fair enough. Matt, I don't want to cut you off, but real quick, I did forget someone actually there. If they don't go with that crazy surprise pick, another player I like at 16 is Rashaan Evans, the linebacker from Alabama as well. I missed him. I had him on my list, but I'm going to stick with my original pick just for the surprise, because I think that the quarterbacks are going to go early.
All right, and at 18 for the Seahawks. Well, the Seahawks, interesting offseason, to say the least, for them. Losing Richard Sherman, I think they're going to address that in the first round. And I'm going to go with Josh Jackson, cornerback from Iowa.
Okay.
Now on the clock for the Cowboys. Hey, look who it is. Chris, you have the Cowboys picked.
Cowboys. Well, their biggest, I would say, move, obviously, is releasing Des Bryant. Just contract negotiations, I guess, just never went anywhere. Sorry, I'm marking down your pick. Oh, no, that was to Seattle, not Cowboys. I'm picking Cowboys right now. So I think that could actually be the very first place that they look to actually replace through the draft. If Calvin Ridley was available, I think that's where they would go. But I do say that they go with another receiver. I'm going to go with Cortland Sutton.
SMU. I like that.
SMU. I think he could definitely. I don't think he's the best wide receiver. I think Calvin Ridley, is the fastest and obviously the playmaker. But I think Sutton definitely has a good route. He can get separation. He's fast. I think he's definitely going to be a good fit for that Cowboys offense.
I'm really
and he's got the
surprised
size
by you.
too.
I'm really
He's
surprised.
got the size there.
I thought you would take DJ Moore first.
I want him to go somewhere else, so I'm not going to take him for the Cowboys.
What
That's
if
just
you got picked by the Cowboys and I bought you a Moore jersey? Would you wear it?
if it was a more Maryland jersey, I'd wear it.
All right, Anthony, you're up for the Lions.
All right, so with the Lions at number 20 here, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm at number 20 here. I think this is a position that the Lions have always had an issue with. They really have never had a clear-cut answer of who they're going to go with. They've tried Abdullah. They've tried Reggie Bush, obviously, in recent memory. Even this year, they've had a couple other guys trading in and out. No one seems to be getting the job done, and I think this is a great time for them to go with Darius Geis from LSU, the running back. at number 20.
It's a good pick.
I know it's a little bit early, but obviously we've been looking at mock drafts here and there, and I've seen him fall to the Panthers. What would
That'd
you
be
guys?
another good spot.
What would you guys think about that? You know,
I like it.
what do you think about Carolina spending? You know, if they do, of course, this
Another
is all
first round pick.
fantasy. Another first round pick on.
I don't
running back.
mind it because I mean, let's face it, McCaffrey. I don't think he's an every down back. I think he's a third down
He's a
slot
hybrid back,
receiver.
yeah.
So. Yeah.
I think
And come to think of it, I mean, their best years was when they had a two-back system, really.
for sure. What pick are they? The Panthers.
The 24th.
24th.
So they're
yeah.
a few picks back.
I think if a player of that caliber is there, you have to definitely entertain it, like you said, because a lot of people, a lot of teams go with the draft being what you need, but then there's the teams that go, who's the best person available, and not only does he fit a need, but he might be the best player available. So I think that's going to be a huge indication at that point. But I definitely don't think it's a bad idea for them to possibly sway that way towards him.
Right.
All right, real quick, and before we get to Anthony's pick, couple of my players
I think it's
in
you next.
in the chat. I just want to shout out Brett real quick. He yesterday he went 4 for 4, was a home run away from the cycle. But going back to Saturday, he hit one out of the park, hit a home run out of the park.
Nice.
We are now 8-0 guys, and we got our big rivals tomorrow, Whitman.
Nice.
So hopefully we can. Actually, not hopefully. We're gonna bring it home 9-0 tomorrow.
There you go.
Anthony, you're actually up at no. Wait.
No, it's you. I think it was you or Chris at
No,
21.
it's
Chris,
me,
you're
I think.
Chris, you're 21 with the Bengals.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So the Bengals.
I was gonna say.
I think that the Bengals would definitely benefit. They had a good rookie last year in Joe Mixon, and I think that they can definitely get better if they upgrade their offensive line. So I'm going to go with Will Hernandez, guard from El Paso. I think that he's a really great guy. He's strong, and I think that he excels in run and pass blocking. And I think he will definitely upgrade this offense.
I like that pick, Will Hernandez. That's someone I want the Giants to take with their first pick in the second round.
All right,
But he's moving up.
Yeah, we'll see if he makes it.
He's moving up. No, that's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know
He's
if
been
that's
slowly
what's-
moving up. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it's back to me with the Bills at 22, and I lost my pick. Here it is. So this is going to be the Patrick Mahomes pick right here from last year, and I'm going to go with Mason Rudolph, quarterback from Oklahoma State.
Wow.
No.
Lamar Jackson's there. You taking him?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got 6 quarterbacks in the first round.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yep. So Mason.
I don't
Rudolph
think
goes.
that'll happen. I really don't think
They
that'll
need a
happen.
quarterback. Who's their quarterback?
But I'm just saying, I think they'll trade up. Like
Well, yeah, no. Well,
You
they
know
have
what
the
I'm
other
saying?
pick they can trade up to, but I mean,
I don't think they'll.
if
stay at
everything stays
22.
the same, this is where it's going to happen. So let's move. Where are we at? 23. Anthony, you're picking for the Patriots.
Oh, all right. Well, with
Oh, I
pick
thought.
23.
No, you're right. I highlighted them, but that's because I'm picking them later. Gotcha.
Fair enough. I think obviously there's been a lot of talk. What you talked about earlier when Chris picked him, I think there's a lot of talk of maybe Rosen dropping here to them. I don't see Rosen dropping to 23 regardless if he drops out of the top 10, because I think a team like I said, I think the Ravens are a team that you have to watch for quarterback. And I think obviously if at 12, maybe the Bills don't get the guy they want at 22, they're definitely going to take a quarterback, whether it be a Mason Rudolph or a Lamar Jackson or Josh Rosen, if for some reason he slips to 22, which I don't see happening. So I definitely think that's a spot there. So I think the Patriots here go with a big need of theirs, and it brings me great joy to say this player's name too. And at pick 23, I have New England taking the UCF product, Mike Hughes, cornerback.
I thought you were going to say the other one.
Now, Griffin won't go in the first round.
He should.
I'd love it, but he's a great player. He'll definitely get picked. He'll be playing somewhere
What round?
in spring training.
Spring training?
What did I say? Yeah, spring training, training camp. I think he'll go in the third or fourth round.
All right. Right now for the Panthers on the clock is Chris.
Patriots. Got it. All right. So Panthers, I think their running game is definitely something that they need to upgrade, but I really think they have other needs. I think they really need a wide receiver. I think they also really need help in the secondary. I think they were after Brashad Breeland, but he failed his physical. Um, so they also definitely need to address that. But if I'm going to be picking for the Panthers, I think that the Panthers could use DJ Moore from Maryland. I think they need a wide receiver more than anything because right now I couldn't name one wide receiver that the Panthers have. So I think they definitely need to upgrade at that position.
All right, DJ Moore. All right, and now we're on pick 25 for the Titans. I feel like the Titans definitely need an edge rusher. We definitely need one, and there's still one left on the board that's in the top 10 on a lot of boards, and that's Marcus Davenport, defensive end from Texas San Antonio. I think you lie him on the opposite side of Jarrell Casey, and you're going to start seeing Casey get more and more stats because then you can't double team and just concentrate on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Marcus Davenport is going to be one of a couple edge rushers the Titans find out. And Mel Kiper has the Titans taking a tight end, and I feel like that's the far from what we need in the draft right now, especially this early of a pick, especially having Delaney Walker aging up there in age. But we got the guy last year who came in and played pretty good. So I don't know what it's Kiper, so I can't really go against that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so right now for the Atlanta Falcons is back to Chris.
So the Falcons lost a big piece in their defensive tackle this offseason with Dontari Poe going to the Panthers. So I think the Falcons will address that right away, and they're going to draft Taven Bryan from Florida. I think looks like he did 30 lifts in the combine. He should be pretty much a starter from day one. So I could see them taking him right there.
All right. Anthony, you're now on the clock for the Saints.
All right, so pick 27 here. Again, this is where I like a lot of players for them because I think tight end, obviously, is something they're going to look at. Receivers, always something they look at. They're never one team to stray away from grabbing another receiver when they can. I really liked Cortland Sutton here. Chris obviously already took him, and then DJ Moore was right there. So for me, I think I would pass on receiver at this point, and I would move on actually to there's two very good offensive linemen, which I don't think will be here at this point in the draft because these are pretty good tackles. And I'm actually going to go with Connor Williams, the offensive tackle from Texas here to New Orleans at 27.
All right. So I'm at 28 with the Steelers, and I'm actually going to trade Le'Veon Bell in this pick to the Browns for the first pick so I can take Barkley.
Yeah,
If only
okay.
it was that easy.
So, wide receiver, you don't need anymore. The offensive side, you really don't need anymore. I mean, they got everything they need. So I'm actually going to go on the defensive side again. And I'm going to go with I'm going to go with an inside linebacker, and I'm going to go with where's he at? I just had him. Rashad Evans from
Alabama.
Rashad Evans from Alabama.
He's a fast riser on a lot of boards, man. He really is.
On this board I'm looking at right here, he jumped up 35 spots.
Yep, to 16. Yep, I have that same board, I think, as one of mine.
I'm sorry, I missed the pick. What was the pick?
Draft Teak.
Rashawn Evans.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rashad Evans, inside linebacker, pairing with that TJ Watt, and they're going to have a pretty damn good linebacking core like the same they had when Harrison and Woodley and all of them were there. On the clock now for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, I should have gave Anthony this one. Well, Chris.
I'm going to trade it to Anthony for the next pick then. Why not?
Oh, you're messing with my whole system here. I don't even know
no,
who
no,
the Jaguars on the board.
So I can do the Jaguars. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
Jaguars, I think obviously their strength is their defense. Also, Leonard Fournette is a monster, so I don't think they need to draft a running back. And, they could always upgrade their defense. I don't see them. I mean, there's a lot of good corners still available, I believe. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to... Oh, actually, never mind. You guys already picked them. This is a lot harder than I thought, guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like the picks I've made so far, I don't.
Yeah,
even
they're
like,
all gone.
Like, I didn't want to take Lamar Jackson at 16, but Matt made me panic with that Ridley pick at 15.
Right. Well, you know what? Let's say they do go for defense. Let's say they go for cornerback. I think it's Jerry Alexander from Louisville.
See him.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they're pretty much set there, but why not strengthen why not fortify your strength?
Yeah, why not take another corner and just shut down more receivers? I agree.
Who was it again?
Alexander out of
from
Louisville,
Louisville.
Okay.
cornerback.
Yep.
All right. Is it my pick now?
Yep, you're up with the Vikings.
All right. So with the Vikings, number one need I think here, and there's a player that I like, and he's another guy that's on the rise here. You got Kirk Cousins, time to protect him. You got Dalvin Cook coming off an ACL injury, so you want to have people that can block in front of you. You got receivers already, obviously a team with Diggs and Thielen, who became one of the best duos, if not the best duo last year in the NFL during the regular season. So you go out and get an offensive lineman, and right here I'm taking offensive tackle out of UCLA, Colton Miller. I don't know if you got this guy is 6'9".
Good Lord.
I mean that's a big boy, man, to put there on the line. So I don't know. I'm not sure where he would fit in that position, if he's on the left or the right, but I think Kirk Cousins is going to like having a guy on the line of that size.
All right. And Chris, you are on for the Patriots.
Well, that was my pick for the Patriots, and my other pick also has been drafted. So let's dig a little deeper here, shall we? All right. So the Patriots coming up short. They had a great season. I think where they could get better is at corner. They lost. We still don't know what the heck happened with Malcolm Butler.
Who
Does anyone
cares? He's
know?
a Titan. No one cares.
I'm just wondering.
I don't
Does
care
anyone
anymore.
know? Does anyone know?
They
'Cause,
said it was
like,
a team rule thing or some crap like that.
right, but
He was late.
what did he stay off past curfew? Did he?
They
you
said
know-
the rumor is curfew, which if you sit a guy out of the Super Bowl for curfew, you're an idiot because you probably cost yourself the Super Bowl. But hey, that's not for us to decide.
Was he playing Fortnite too late? Like, what was going on there?
I don't know. Lonzo Ball was playing till 3 a.m. the other night, and then Carl Anthony Thomas and whoever were playing, and someone said you're playing like some crap team. And they're like, oh, yeah, you could stay up. You're just playing that team. What? So horrible. It was Ben Simmons who said that to Carl Anthony Thomas. That's so great. All right, keep
Anthony
going. Sorry.
Towns.
That's fine. So I'm gonna go with someone who's got some versatility. I'm gonna go with Christian Kirk. He's definitely explosive. I think that he also adds to the special teams. So I think Bill Belichick looks for those people that can add value at different positions, not just one. So I think that's one that he can definitely look to him to be special teamers and offensive guy.
As long as he doesn't get
I like the pick.
blindsided in the Super Bowl. So with the final pick of the 2018 mock draft in the first round, Eagles. I can't believe I'm going to do this, but they got a running back in Jay Ajayi, but he just, I feel like he just hasn't really produced the way people thought he was last year. LeGarrette Blount, we all know, it's Blount, but he has his fumble issues. I think the Eagles are going to surprise a team, and I think they're going to take a running back, and I have them taking Nick Chubb out of Georgia. And we just lost Chris.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. But I'm taking Nick Chubb out of Georgia for the Eagles.
What happened?
I don't know.
Chris's side. Tilt
Chris
the
will be
tower.
back with us
Tilt the
shortly.
tower just blew up, and that's where he was at.
Did he freeze first, or I wasn't looking?
I don't know.
I think he just dropped completely.
All right, let me try to bring
So
that.
you got Nick Chubb going, huh?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I like it, man. I like him there. I like Ronald Jones as well.
Yeah.
So I like both of those guys. Another guy I like in round 2 or 3 at running back is Rashad Penny. You don't hear a lot about him because he played for San Diego State. So I think there's some good running backs, though, that are definitely going to come be picked up here in the draft. So it'll be interesting to see nonetheless.
Teams without a first-round pick, real quick, are the Texans, the Chiefs, and the Rams. Rams don't pick till the third round, so And the Texans don't have a first or second round as well. So that'll be interesting for them. So that's going to do it for the 2018 Shipe Sports Talk mock draft. Chris, unfortunately.
While we wait, I was going to say, while we wait to see if we can get him back to get his top 10, is there any picks that anyone said that you were kind of like, you know what, that's not a bad pick there? Or maybe I would have went something different?
I didn't even write them down, so...
Big surprise.
That Rose and that Rosin
obviously,
pick is not what I wanted. It would not be.
So, does that change a lot of stuff, though, if Rosen doesn't go there?
Yeah, if he falls, he could fall to the Patriots.
Do you see the Ravens taking a quarterback at 16? You think that's like a 0% chance with my prediction there? You could be honest.
I think it all depends
there's
if
no
they
way.
get Des Bryant.
Okay.
But there's, I don't know.
Do
I
you
feel
like
like this,
Lamar Jackson at 16?
you know what? There's been a lot of talks
All over the place now, Paul. What's
about
going
him.
on?
I know. Sorry. Hold on.
Oh, there goes Anthony too. Oh look, we got Anthony as. Oh wait,
Oh shit.
we just lost everyone. I'm a one-man show again.
I just saw that.
Yes, the ultimate heel turn is complete. I have deleted everyone.
I just saw
Oh, Chris said his Wi-Fi crashed, so he's probably done for the night.
Did he say he's done for the
Yeah,
night?
he said he's done for the night. So you see what I did there? I deleted everyone. Delete. Oh crap, he's back now. Let me stop.
I'm back. Yeah.
I think we lost
You
Chris.
guys trying to get rid of me?
We lost Chris for the rest of the show. His Wi-Fi just crashed, so
I hit the big red button.
it's just gonna be us. So Anthony, let's just run through our top 10 real quick, and then we'll let everyone Verizon. Yeah, Chris just lost cable and Wi-Fi, so Chris is done for the night. Ladies and gentlemen, we have lost Chris. So me and Anthony are gonna run through our top 10 real quick, and then we are
Like
going
duck
to.
down so you can see me here.
Hold on, Anthony. I get you.
There
Hold
he's
on.
back. He's probably got on his phone or something.
Who?
Chris has just said he logged back on.
Oh, he did? All right, let's try.
All right. Well, I'll run through my top 10 real quick. Number 1, the Browns. I'm going to have Josh Allen.
Okay.
Number 2, I'm going to have Barkley. Number 3,
Yeah,
I'm going to
he's
have.
back.
Chris, we're
Hey,
going through our
guys.
top 10 real quick. So I did
I
Allen.
missed
and-
your pick.
I was just trying to tell you. Oh, my Nick Chubb, running back.
Chubb.
All right. So real quick, so we'll start with my top 10. I'm going to do Browns, go with Josh Allen. Barkley to the Jets.
Who'd you have the Jets taking at 3?
Barkley to the Giants. Jets take
Okay.
Mayfield.
Yep.
Where do we at? The
Browns are 4.
The Browns then take Chubb. The Broncos take Darnold. I'm trying to go through this real quick. Hold on. The Colts. Fitzpatrick for the Colts.
Okay.
God, getting on the spot here. What do we have here? Tampa Bay. Ward for Tampa Bay.
Oh, excuse me.
Bears. Ooh, see this? Bears will take James out of Florida State. 9. What do we got? San Francisco. I'm gonna stick with that Nelson pick that you had, Anthony, I believe.
Okay.
And then 10 for the Raiders. I am going to have. I'm gonna go with Tremaine Evans. All right, so Anthony, your top 10 pick.
All right. So, first I got Josh Allen as well. Second, I have Saquon Barkley, which is the pick I want as a Giants fan as well. Third, I have Mayfield. Again, here I think the Jets like Mayfield. I think that obviously a lot of people still have Darno higher here, but I think that's their pick. 4, I also agree. They get Bradley Chubb. I think he's too much of value there, and then you get to pair him up with the gentleman we talked about and from the previous draft, the first pick, Myles Garrett, which would be a nice tandem to have on defense. We've seen them make a lot of moves on offense. Now they get some great pieces on defense. 5th, I think the Broncos are going to look to move this pick, especially with the quarterback. I think the amount they can get there for the Bills to move up and get a Darno, you're talking about getting not only the 12th pick but the 22nd pick and more, and they can still get a quarterback at 12, the Broncos, if that's something that they do want to do. But I think no matter who's here at 5, whether it be the Broncos or it be the Bills, I think Darno is the pick at 5, which is shocking because at one point he was talked about being the first overall pick. So the fact that he drops to 5 would be impressive. At 6, it's the Colts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Denzel Ward, the cornerback at Ohio State. At 7 for Tampa, I have Derwin James, the safety, still going there. At 8, refresh my memory, who's picking at 8?
Bears.
The Bears? Okay, give me a second because I didn't have that one here written down. I'm going to go here at 8. I'm going to go with Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. At 9, I'm going to stick with Nelson, the guard. And then at 10, I'm going to have the Raiders finalize the top 10 and take Minka Fitzpatrick, the safety out of Alabama.
All right, Chris, it's your go.
Alrighty then. Sorry about that. For some reason, my Verizon completely crashed. Cable went down, Wi-Fi went down.
Get Comcast.
No idea whatever happened. No, they suck.
Hey, that's my company.
All right, so I'm going to stick with my first overall pick. I think the Browns are going to go ahead and take the best player available because there will be a quarterback available in just a couple picks after that. So I think they're going to go ahead and take Saquon Barkley. They could have the pick of the litter at quarterback, but I think the smart thing would be to get the best player available in this case because they do have the option of getting a quarterback a few picks later. So because of that, the Giants won't be able to get Saquon Barkley. I agree that they probably will get the next best player, which is Bradley Chubb. When they won the championship, the way they won the championship was getting to Tom Brady. So Bradley Chubb is that kind of person that can disrupt and get to the quarterback. So I think they definitely would go there for the number 2 pick. The Jets, I think obviously they take a quarterback. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with. People are saying that obviously he is the best quarterback right now. He could have been taken number 1, so I'm gonna go with Sam from USC. Number 4, I think because they are not able to get Sam, the Browns are going to go ahead and get the next best quarterback, in my opinion, which is going to be Josh Allen. So I think that's where he's going to end up. Number 5, I think the Broncos probably trade this pick away, but if not, then I think they're going to go for Josh Rosen.
Matt just got he just does not like Rosen going this early.
I know, but I think.
Have you ever watched him once in college compared to Baker Mayfield? Honest.
I haven't watched 90% of these players because I don't watch college football, except when it's Maryland, of course. But
so basically, you just watch the other team run up the score to 50 points.
Unfortunately.
No.
Unfortunately.
All right, go ahead. Keep going.
All right. Number 6, I think the Colts. Where I had it right here. I think the Colts go with defense. What was it? Hold on, I think I lost my paper. There's a lot of papers here, guys.
Chris is definitely not the college football guru of the show.
No, I am not. I'll tell you that right now.
He knows DJ Moore, and that's it.
Mr. DJ Moore.
Okay. I just saw that the Colts are switching to a 4-3 attack. So let's say they go for an edge rusher.
I literally said that earlier. Were you not paying attention to me?
When?
I literally said it before I made the pick for the Colts. So they're switching to a 4-3 attack.
No, I was getting ready for my next pick.
Oh, Jesus. Make the pick.
Well, someone wrote in the chat, how can you say that Rosen has character issues but not Mayfield? They're asking you, Matt.
Mayfield hasn't come out and said, I don't want to play for a certain team. He just grabbed his junk.
That's not character issues.
You know what?
That's character issues. You don't want to play for a team.
I'm going to switch up my pick.
What chat was this on?
YouTube.
I'm going to switch up my pick. Andrew Luck is their franchise guy. So let's say that they choose someone to protect their franchise player. So let's say they go with Quentin Nelson. Next, we have the Bucks. I I think the Bucks go defense here. Where
Like
are
character
we?
issues. He just grabbed his junk. Just Kansas wouldn't shake hands, and he pwned them.
I think the Bucks get Derwin James. I think that was your pick, Anthony. I think that was good. So the Bears. Let's see. The Bears, I think they go defense as well. I think they might go Tremaine Edmonds.
Yep, that's what I got too. Just so you know, Chris, you're being called out in the chat right now too, saying DJ Moore in the first round, question mark.
DJ Moore in the first round.
I'll talk to him tomorrow at the game because DJ Moore is a first-round talent.
I think he can be a talent. I think just based off of the wide receivers that are available right now, I think he's definitely up there.
Yeah, he's the second or third best wide receiver in this class.
Right. If it was a different class, I could see that. But I don't think wide receiver is the strength.
Last year
of this
he'd be a third-round pick. This year he's a first-round pick.
class. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Chris.
Number nine, we have the 49ers. I think the 49ers can definitely upgrade a lot of positions, but I had them. Okay. And this is hard. I have like 30 pieces of paper in front of me.
Yeah, it is.
Let's say they have let's say they get a secondary player with Minka Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Let's say they get that. And then rounding out the top 10,
You have
I
the
think
Raiders.
the Raiders are going to pick. Unfortunately, I said Minka Fitzpatrick, but if he's available at 9, I think the 49ers would take him. But the Raiders probably will go defense, I think, and let's say they go for Denzel Ward.
Cornerback, I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
I think they
so
need help
I
in the
like it.
secondary, so if not safety, you might as well go corner.
I got everything written down. We'll see who gets the most right. But that's going to conclude the 2018 Shite Sports Talk mock draft talk. This was
Loser
a
buys drinks.
huh?
Loser buys drinks for
Sure.
Next out.
Well, the first 5 pits, me and Anthony are right on the money, so we'll see how that goes. Up here comes Paul. He just woke up from a nap.
Yep. So how are you guys? So how does this work?
What do you mean?
You guys have the picks, and how do you guys? You said who wins? How do you guys?
Oh well, if we pick the
just
right,
all
if they
for
get
fun.
picked, yes,
Yeah.
for fun. If so, we all did top 10s. We'll see how many people got the picks right.
okay.
I think it was 2 years ago or something. I nailed like 5 or 6 in the first round, and I was like, that's pretty crazy.
I mean,
Before-
trades, trades are going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
so-
Like, trades are going to happen, so we'll just have to kind of factor that in.
Before we, Matt, before you send us out of here, I just want to ask both of you, because obviously you know my ideal pick for both of your teams in reason. Obviously, at the 25, Matt, don't say you want someone like Saquon Barkley or Bradley Chubb. Have a reasonable, who's someone at 25 you would love for the Titans to get. That maybe not the person you took. Would you be good with the Davenport pick, or is there someone else that you like?
I mean,
maybe in that middle.
if Davenport's there, I would love it. But the other one is, where's he at? Is Sam Hubbard, the edge rush from Ohio State.
Okay, and they think that's the best value there, because I don't even have Sam Hubbard in my top 30.
He's at number. Where's he at? He's 42. I think he could rise
so,
up.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. There's no one in the top 20 that you like that if they
Marcus-
fall, you're like, oh man, that's the guy we want.
Davenport, and
Davenport's
Harold
your number 1.
Landry from Boston College.
Okay. And then Chris, I'm going to ask you the same question. But the Redskins have pick. Is it 13?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Who's your ideal? Obviously, you're right outside the top 10, so one of these top 10 prospects could definitely slip, especially if the quarterbacks go as they have been talked about for all of us. So who's someone you really like that you would love to see fall to 13 and you guys grab there?
I like the pick that I made. I think defensive tackle is something that we should definitely address. I feel like on the edges we have people right now in on the edge like Ryan Kerrigan. I think someone in the middle could definitely complement Ryan Kerrigan.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet what's happening with Junior Gillette. I mean, is he going to play? Is he going to make it? I think he is someone that could make a difference, but the middle I think should be addressed. But if for some reason one of these safeties or cornerbacks falls out of the top 10, I definitely wouldn't mind having like Denzel Ward or Minka Fitzpatrick on our team for
I was
sure.
about to say, would you like a safety or corner there if you could get
I
them
think
to their
that
team?
that would be realistically. I don't think they're going to last that long, but if they do, I
Right.
wouldn't mind taking them.
Absolutely.
All right,
All
that's gonna do it for us. Stay tuned. Our 100th episode is coming.
Any
will
other
keep you-
updates? Any other sports updates we want to talk about?
Just the Capitals are up 2-0, Wizards are down 0-2, Nationals took 2-3 from the Mets, and that's about it for local sports. We give up 9 runs in the 8th inning.
We blew the first game, so it works out.
You didn't allow 9 runs.
It was 6-1 going into the 8th inning, and DeGrom pitched a gem, and then they give it up. So they walked in 3 runs. Don't get me
What's the
started.
update for the Caps again?
2-0 at the
we
end
were
of the
winning
second.
2-0 at the end of the second intermission.
It's
Second
2-1. It's 2-1.
period.
2-0.
2-1 in the
no.
series. Yep.
In
2-1
the
in
series.
the
So
series.
they'll win
2-0
this.
tonight.
So we'll see what happens. Anthony, Devils, are they out or any chance? Or...
They're not out. They're still alive. Let's just say this: the last time they were down 3-1 that I can remember in a playoff series, they ended up winning that series. So we got to keep hope.
Now, for
Good
special
point.
guest on the show, Bojo, is his team pretty much dead in the water?
Listen, I think that any team, I never like to say a team's out until it's officially done. I never like to say a team's done. I think the Flyers and the Devils going into the playoffs, I'll speak for my team as well. It was obviously an uphill battle. The Flyers have just had a rough time on the defensive side, and their goaltending's always been an issue. So I know that's something, and the Devils have just not had the consistent goaltending either, going between Kincaid and Schneider, and now they lost Vatanen, one of their best defenders, if not the best one, in the last game. So I think it's going to be an uphill battle for both of those teams, but this is not the last you'll see of those 2 teams in the playoffs. So I definitely think we got a great thing to see, and we saw history with Vegas sweeping the LA Kings in their first ever playoff. They won the first round. They're already resting until the next round, and San Jose with a sweep as well, another shock. So definitely some interesting stuff on the Eastern and Western Conference sides, but regardless of the fact that it's a fun time to be watching hockey. So let's see some more history be made here in the playoffs.
All right, so like I said, look on Twitter and Facebook for when our 100th episode is. Maybe next week, maybe the week after, maybe 2 weeks. You never know. We're going to have some special guests for the show, so stay tuned. It's going to be a fun episode. Like always, you can catch us at www.shipesportstalk.com, Facebook/ShipeSportsTalk, at ShipeSportsTalk on Twitter, and you can email us at shipesportstalk@gmail.com. So for myself, Paul, Anthony,
Wait.
and
I just have one other quick question.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. We have plenty of time. What do you guys think about Holtby being named the outright starter now for the Caps?
Good. He won. Let
He
go.
won.
He's
He won.
it.
I think you got to let him play, yeah.
Who was in his
I-
place? Who did he replace?
Well, the Caps started Grubauer.
Okay.
What the heck is that?
Oh, some eye.
It's an eyeball.
Oh, yeah, they started Grubauer game 1, also game 2, but they switched him out late game 2 because he let in, I think it was 3 goals in the second period. Then Holtby's had the job ever since. I
Good
think
for
he should
him,
have had
man.
it from the start. I really do think Holtby should have started from the beginning. The highest save percentage in playoff history, I believe. Playing a minimum of like 40 games or something like that. So I think he should have had the job from the beginning, but
Yeah.
that's just
agreed.
my opinion.
So also just want to remind everybody, if you're watching on Facebook, hop over to the YouTube channel and subscribe and
Hit
like
that like
the
button,
like button.
which is something
And if you're
pointed
watching on
somewhere.
YouTube, hop over to our Facebook page after you subscribe to the YouTube channel and like and follow the Facebook page, and stuff like that.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
that
so
sums it up.
once again, for myself, Paul, Chris, and Anthony, I hope you guys enjoyed this version of our mock draft, and we'll keep you posted on episode 100.
All right.
Delete.
Enjoy the draft. Good luck to all your teams.
Have a good night,
Hockey,
everybody.
Basketball and in the draft next week.
Yep.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah.
You think Ty Dillinger is going to enter at number 10 next Friday?